Deputy O'Sullivan.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad of the opportunity to raise this issue today. And it's come about from engagement that some of us have had with people from Bahrain and with a human rights organisation. It's also topical today because the 14th of February is the 8th anniversary of the pro-democracy movement that took place in Bahrain, along with many other countries in the Middle East. And in the 8 years since then, what we've seen has been the repression of the movement. So, the question I'd have to ask, what is the fear around democracy and democratic movements? Because when we look at the world, it's those countries with free democratic elections and peaceful transfer of power after elections where we see stability and growth and we see health and education. What Bahrain has seen have been horrific repression of a democratic movement. Repression of the protesters, whether they're lawyers or doctors or students or teachers, human rights defenders and civil society. And the repression continues today in Bahrain with torture, police and military brutality and forced disappearance. Now, I want to particularly look at the issue of the treatment of prisoners. There are inhumane conditions in Bahrain's jail prison and also in Town women's prison. And both of those, they violate the UN standard minimum rules for the treatment of prisoners. And as well as the inhumane physical conditions, there are concerns over access to medication for prisoners, family visits and degrading searches. And above all of that, the lack of accountability. And I want to mention in particular 3 women prisoners, Hajar Mansour, Medina Ali and Najah Yusuf. They've all in need of medical care, and their particular issue has been raised by both the Taoiseach and by the UN. And then, there are questions around the relationship that our Royal College of Surgeons has with King Hamad University Hospital. And I would have to ask if our Royal College of Surgeons are living up to their ethical and to their moral standards. I've had correspondence from Minister Coveney on this, and I do think there is a need to go further. The institutions in Bahrain supposed to be looking after human rights, like the Ministry of the Interior, public prosecutions, etc., they're not independent and impartial, and that's why they need voices like Ireland.
Deputy O'Sullivan, thank you. Deputy